All right, we are now joined by the one and only, the best in the world, CM Punk, my man. Thank you so much for
DC,
joining.
legend, Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, it's Pam. Sorry. Government names is
How you
very
doing?
bad. I can't do
Good.
that. I shouldn't do that.
Yeah. She just kind of popped in there.
Yes, that's what she does.
That's another thing about aging. You get scared fast. That scared me.
Oh, did it really?
It frightened me. I was like,
Well,
oh my God,
yeah.
who's that person?
If it was a white woman, I might have gotten scared. It's my friend Bailey.
Yeah. So, WrestleMania, man.
Yeah.
You're back. From the moment you got back, it was all love for CM Punk. How good has it been being back in the WWE, that second part of your journey?
It's been so good. I am uncomfortable telling people how good it is
Really?
because, just because you get the people who are like, oh, he's just that company guy now. This, that. I'm 46 years old. I'm still doing what I dreamed as a little kid to do at a high level. Like I'm a pig in shit. You know what I mean? Like I'm just rolling around. I'm happy. I love seeing my friends. I get to sit here, be interviewed by legendary Hall of Famer. Like life is good. I can't complain.
Last time we had you on Good Guy, Bad Guy, Chael and I, you kind of went far. Did you get in trouble for anything you said? Because we went a little far.
Brother, I don't remember. I always get in trouble for things I say. That's who I am. And I realized very early that it doesn't matter what you say. Somebody's going to be mad about it.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to find something. Oh, he didn't really mean that. Somebody will say, oh, but he's paid to say that. Yeah, all right. So I'm just going to be me and live in the moment, not really worry about yesterday and not worry about tomorrow and just have fun.
The moment is WrestleMania 41. We're live in Las Vegas. You have been a part of some of the biggest matches in wrestling history. Saturday will go down as such. There's a difference, though. It's your first WrestleMania main event. For my money, far too long for it to happen, being who you have been in this business.
Yeah.
What does it feel like to finally be here, knowing that you've earned this?
Well, first of all, thank you. I agree with you. It's just, to me, what this main event represents, especially with Paul Heyman being in my corner, this is almost like this is what should have happened in 2011, 12, 13, So I feel like I'm fortunate. I get a do-over. I try not to build things up too much anymore, and I try not to downplay the important things because, no mistake, this is still very important to me. This business hurts too much for anyone, especially me, to go out and do what I do to not care, right? I think in the past, one of my biggest crutches was I care too much, almost. But this is everything for me. And it's evident that all the close people in my life are reaching out on a daily basis. Hey, if I know you're going to be busy tomorrow, but we love you. Congratulations. This is huge. When I fly home and I'm walking through O'Hare Airport trying to get to the train, random people walking by me are like, congrats on the main event.
That's awesome.
It's resonated. And I put so much pressure on myself as an athlete to try to set these goals and to reach them, and quote unquote falling short of them prior, and now I'm here. I'm just trying to enjoy the moment, man.
That's probably one of my biggest regrets. Never really living in the now. Always
it's hard.
What's the next thing?
That's how I always operated, and I think it's funny. I talked to Steve Austin, right? And when you look at Stone Cold Steve Austin's career in the WWE, and he's arguably the biggest box office superstar that this industry has ever seen. Like he told me, he's like, kid, I ran so hot for such a short amount of time, and it's like he sees the schedule we're on now, and he's like, man, I wish I could have done that.
Yes.
And I said, Steve, what made you was you were running that hard.
Yep.
And nobody could tell you anything. It's just like what makes CM Punk is that chip on my shoulder, and it's, you when you burn the candle at both ends, you're going hard, that makes you who you are. You're a competitor. You're always looking ahead of, okay, what's next? I got to climb this next mountain. It's kind of a double-edged sword, right?
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially when it's over.
Yeah.
Right? You mentioned Paul Heyman being in your corner. Your guys' relationship is something that I've watched for so long on TV, and just knowing what he means to you.
Yeah.
Speak about that relationship with Paul Heyman, a man that's been so important to this business as a whole, but clearly he's been important to you.
Yeah, I've been fortunate throughout my career. For some reason or another, a lot of really, really special old timers took a liking to me. I mean, like Harley Race, Bret Hart, Ricky Steamboat, Tracy Smothers. And when I got signed to WWE in 2005, I figured this is going to last 4-6 months. I was a little indie guy, little by their standards, right?
Yeah.
And now I feel like I'm a bigger dude.
It's so different today.
Yeah. The landscape's changed, but back then I was coming in. I was like the first one through the wall. I got bloodied. You know what I mean? Paul Heyman was a guy who took a liking to me, saw something in me. He's that coach that you come across, that he sees it in you, and not only does he see it in you, he knows how to pull it out of you.
Yeah.
He knows how to tell you, look, I know all these people are going to say X, Y, Z about you, and this is going to be hard, but I know you can do it. I know you want to do it. You have the ability, you have the talent. Just somebody who fostered that at my early stages in WWE. And we've had our ups and downs. He gave me 13 staples in the top of my head in Philadelphia. He smashed a ladder into my face. But friends fight.
Hurt each other.
Yeah, and we make up, and now here we are. And I get to share what is arguably the pinnacle moment of my career with him. And it's deserved. I wouldn't be here without him.
You know what I like about you is that you're not just a wrestler. You're a sports fan. You're an athlete. You have stepped outside of your comfort level in box before.
Oh, yeah.
You go to the UFC. You support the UFC now. Do you take from all those experiences, right? Not only as actively doing them. I'm talking, hell, you're in Los Angeles watching Umar Nurmagomedov and Marab.
Yeah.
Right? You're tied to these things because you still love the sport. Can you take from that, from that environment at the Intuit Dome where you see those great champions compete and apply it to what you're doing and what you're going to do this weekend in WrestleMania main event?
Man, 100%. I think if you're a fan of sports and you go to sporting events, baseball, I don't care if it's football, American football, European soccer, whatever, hockey, you go, you get excited, you get swept away. But there's moments that a lot of civilians won't be privy to, things backstage. Their eye isn't trained to see certain things like how me or you see certain things, especially as a broadcaster, you see things differently now than when you were in the cage, you know? So to be where I'm at in this company and to be able to go to a UFC and I kind of move a little bit differently. I look at different things. I watch Bruce Buffer, you know what I mean? I watch how he moves in the cage. So everybody from behind the scenes or all the fighters putting their gloves on, you guys, the commentators, I see how you guys operate, and we can 100% apply that to our world. This is the real world, and ours is the real make-believe world where we can take elements of what you guys do. And I see stuff like that all the time, and I try to bring that over. Even if it's camera shots or production stuff or how people get interviewed post-fight, we need to do that more here in wrestling.
Yeah. Storytelling is as important in this world as anything. It's easy to tell a story when you take a big gold belt and you put it on the end and you tell the consumer that's the goal. That's the thing that we are fighting for.
Yeah.
But when you don't have that gold belt, now you got to tell a different story, in a more in-depth story. You guys have told a story without a title that has drawn people in and made this one of the most anticipated triple threat matches of all time. How important was it for you to tell that story with Seth, with Roman, to get people invested? Because there's 5 title fights on the card this weekend.
Yeah.
But you guys are the main event.
So I'll liken it again to UFC. This past pay-per-view, I was looking forward to Lopez and Volkanovski.
Yep.
But to you, what was the fight on the main card that you really wanted to see?
I wanted to see Bryce Mitchell versus John Silva.
Exactly.
I knew it was going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Right? There was no title there.
Right. There's no title.
And it was in the same weight class.
But there's human emotions.
Yes.
There's things that people can watch and go, oh, man, yeah, I feel that. That's my guy. Or, oh, man, I can't believe he did that. I want to see that guy get choked out.
Yes.
We can incorporate, and I believe that we have at this level, that I don't like Seth.
Yeah, dude.
And we can tell that story, and people can see that, and it's almost, I hate saying this about Seth, but he ain't wrong about a lot of things he says about me, and I'm 100% right about everything I say about him, and now people get to watch us punch each other in the face.
Yeah.
Like we get to try to settle the score. What the wrestling business is, in like the most granular level, is like capturing those feelings and reaching out and making people feel some sort of emotion. It's an emotion business. And the best highlights in the UFC, yeah, knockouts are great, all these things, but it's the emotion. To me, I remember a lot of the times post-fight interviews, sometimes more than the finish of the fight.
Yeah.
Because you'll get real human beings telling real stories, and you get some real gems. Most recently, Volkanovski saying, "Adversity is a privilege."
Oh my God, was
and
that
it's
not a
just
great
like,
line?
And you feel that,
Yeah.
and you can connect to that as a fan. I did, and that's what we are blessed to be able to do. Like in real time, we can do the same things. And yeah, I think we don't need the title belt, because we've told the story that, I'm not going to say this is more important than the title. I think it could be more relatable than the title.
Yeah, more relatable.
People can understand friendship and betrayal and heartache and heartbreak and all these things.
And whoever wins will possibly fight for the title
That's
next.
kind of an unspoken thing.
Yeah,
like
kind of
when
an
you
unspoken.
take 3 of the biggest superstars in the industry and you put them in a triple threat, yeah, whoever's winning that's probably coming out number one contender.
My last question for you. Do you believe, you said it, Seth says it, you guys don't like each other.
Yeah.
But when you come back, you're immediately together, right?
Yeah.
Because we want it as the consumer. I want nothing more than to see you and him, who don't like each other, in there together, right? Do you think that's made it easier? Because in MMA, when John Jones and I are fighting, it's a much easier sell because it's
Sure.
real.
Yeah.
Has it made it easier because you're working with a person? I saw y'all sitting down last night. It's like you don't want to be there.
Yeah.
But you're going to try to put together a masterpiece with that guy who you don't like.
Yeah, I think it helps, and I've been on both sides of the coin. Like sometimes you got to deal with people, and you're like, this is such a garbage human being. I do not want my soul tethered to this person. I'm sure you can relate.
Yeah.
But it's just like, this is the dude you got to go through.
Yep.
You didn't pick him. Like he's the champ. He's got something you want. He may be a garbage human being, and you got to do these interviews with him, and it's like you're spending time with him. What's more intimate than fighting somebody?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it is a little weird. It's a little bipolar. Like
Yeah.
I don't like the guy. I'm spending a lot of time with him because I'm in the ring with him, and we're fighting. And it's a lot of times it's more intimate than I am with a lot of my friends. But it's also cathartic because, like I said, I get to kick him in the face.
Yeah.
I had that cage match with him, and I was grinding his head. I'm grinding his face into that cage.
Yeah.
Because
And it
I'm
feels
thinking,
good.
Because I'm thinking, I want you to go home, and I want your daughter to be like, Dada, what happened to your face?
Yeah.
And I want you to have to tell her it was CM Punk.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
That's the way to end. Man. Main event Saturday night, night 1 of WrestleMania, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns in a triple threat match for the ages. Do not miss it. Make sure you guys tap in everything Punk is doing. Massive UFC guy. CM Punk, thanks for joining me.
Appreciate you, legend.
my
Thank
brother.
you.